Orange is gonna be a hard one. They just look so similar. Hey there, Julia here. Today we are continuing the favorite ink series. I'm looking closer at my ink collection and counting down my favorite orange inks. With these videos, I'm hoping to introduce you to maybe some new inks and would love to know your favorites down in the comments. So when looking at the color orange, we got to do some color psychology here. Orange on a positive side of things is associated with optimism, confidence, warmth, and creativity. On the negative side of things, orange can be associated with arrogance, kind of an overabundance of pride, impatience, and it's exhausting if it's overused. And so maybe that's why I don't have very many oranges in my collection. I only have 8 inks in the orange category, and I thought about why I only have 8, and I think that most of them are these like medium oranges and they just look really similar to me. And I personally really love like darker rusty oranges. So if I have a choice, I tend to go that route. So today we're just going to count down my top 5 favorite orange inks in my collection. So the first one is one of the first oranges that I received. It's kind of an orange brown, and I actually haven't had it fully inked in anything, but I just really love the tone. It has a really cozy name, and it's an exclusive ink with endless pens. So see if you can guess it. It is Robert Oster Campfire Crackle, and this is again an Endless Pens exclusive. So we are gonna go ahead and swatch it out here. I do have my lovely sample and pen holder by Fountain Pendulum, and I'll link as many things as I can down in the description for you. Can't remember if this has shimmer. Let's see. It has a little something down there, so let's shake it. I'm using my Sailor Hakoto dip pen for the writing portion of this. And this does have a 1.1 stub on it. What am I doing? I need to ink this up. This is so pretty. Okay, there you go. There's our number 5 ink, Robert Oster in Endless Campfire Crackle. Okay, our number 4 ink is a new sample to me. So again, I haven't fully inked it, but it's such a beautiful orange. It's very glowing and warm, and I can't wait to see it in a pen. What do you think it is? If you said Noodler's Southwest Sunset, you would be correct. That is our number 4 pick here. To me, it doesn't give Southwest Sunset. I am in the Southwest. I am used to typically like purples and pinks mixed with a nice orange for a Southwest Sunset, but I get what they were going for here. Let's give this a swatch in case you have not seen this beautiful ink yet. From what I understand, it's a super popular one. The shading on this is super lovely, and I am getting sunset vibes now, kind of seeing that yellow glow kind of come through in the writing here. It's really pretty. Wow, I must say, I really enjoy that. Our number 4 pick, Noodler's Southwest Sunset. Okay, my number 3 pick is getting a little closer to the tone of orange that I really, really enjoy. It does definitely give autumnal vibes, and it has a little autumn with a little sparkle, and it does feel very cozy. So take your guess. Let's have a little moment of suspense here. What do you think? Okay, so the number 3 pick is Ferris Wheel Press Hardy Harvest. Such a pretty ink. And I'm gonna give it a shake, a light shake. And I was totally wanting to use this pencil board, but we may be past that point. Okay, have to be careful with these Ferris Wheel Press inks. Don't tip over. Look how cozy. Here we have Ferris Wheel Press Hardy Harvest. This one also has some pretty shading to it. Gorgeous. I'm really glad I'm doing this because it is making me really look at inks and want to ink them very soon. Like, these oranges are giving right now. Okay, let's move to the number 2 pick. So this one is another super cozy orange tone. And along with that, it has a really cozy name. It is very rusty, has this like rustic feel, and it's a pretty straightforward ink. So no shimmer, no sheening, anything like that. Though it may have sheening. I'm not sure. We'll see. But take your guess. Oh, one more hint. It was also in a recent Diamine Inkvent calendar. It's Diamine Fireside Snug. So let's go ahead and swatch this one. I haven't inked this one up fully yet, but I've done enough swatching and just kind of like dip writing with it to know that I really love it. Oh my gosh. I gotta watch these swatches. We gotta fit number 1 in there. Yeah, it is criminal how pretty this is. Okay. Gorgeous. Okay, before we get into my number 1 pick, I do want to give an honorable mention to Ancient Copper. And this is definitely my vibe when it comes to ink. It is possibly a favorite in this color category, but I decided to not put it in the countdown because it was featured in a previous countdown video with another ink category, and so I didn't want to double up and it is somewhere between colors. And so I did want to give this a shout out for the orange category as well, because it is just a beautiful coppery ink. And so with that, what do you guys think my number one pick is? What would your number one pick be? Well, let me give you some tidbits about this one. So this ink is my most used orange, like the bottle's almost empty. It's very saturated. It's a very deep orange. It does feel very warm. It has that autumn glow, and I always enjoy it when it's inked up. It is Ferris Wheel Press Pumpkin Patch. So look, I am almost out, and I don't think I've ever ran out of a full bottle of ink before, but this one is about there. So let's swatch it out so you can see why I love it so much. This one is another standard ink, so no shimmer or anything crazy. Try to not get it in the way of this other swatch. Don't want those mixing. It's so crazy how red this looks next to these other oranges. I've never really thought of Pumpkin Patch at all as a reddish ink. So our number one is Ferris. This is wild. It looks super red. We'll see what it looks like whenever it dries down. But yeah, you can definitely see how like deeply saturated this color is. Okay, I'm gonna let this dry for a little bit so you guys can see how everything looks dried down, and we will get a little close-up of these. Okay, so everything is dried up and Pumpkin Patch still looks a little weird. So I'm gonna say that it is a paper issue. I was going for this look, and this is a different paper, and this is kind of what I'm used to it looking like. So just something to note here. Paper does make a difference, and where the dark area is here, you can kind of see that most of the swatch looks like that dark area, but I kind of like this medium section with the very subtle shading. So just something to note there. But here's a close-up look at our top 5. We have the Robert Oster and Endless Campfire Crackle, and it does look very crackly. It has some really interesting sheening, maybe even some shimmer in there. I'm not sure, but very interesting. Nuller Sunset, very pretty shady orange here. I love that. Then we have Ferris Wheel Press Hardy Harvest. I always would just want to say Hardy Har Har. Okay, shut up, Julia. So yeah, it has some very pretty yellow orange shimmer in it. Let's see if you can see it over here. Then we have Diamine Fireside Snug. I really love the shading here and like this dark brown, almost black ring that you get right there. And then number 1, Ferris Wheel Press Pumpkin Patch. But that looks like this, please. So yeah, those are the top 5 oranges in my collection. What would your favorite 5 look like? Let me know which oranges should I try. Let me know in the comments. And if you need more favorites and more ink inspiration, I do have a top 5 red inks that I'll leave linked for you right here. I want to thank you guys so much for watching, and I will catch you all in the next one.